The I liked it a lot more than what they did with Ronda Rousey in the ring with Absolution. That was a little rough, like what they did with Ronda. It's man, they have it right there in front of them, and they let her do it a teeny bit, and they don't see it. So I'll say it, and then maybe they'll do it. First of all,
so wait, let's give a dramatic pause. Hey, right here it comes.
The best physical thing she did in that ring with Sonya Deville and I'm sorry, I'm trying to blank. Mandy Rose was what? Was something called an ogosh. Okay, an ogosh is what some wrestling fans would call a hip toss, but it's done where your leg really drives back and throws the person besides the underhook you put under the person's arm as you hip throw them. I think they could have shot it a little better. I don't like the way they shot it. I think they should have shot it full, as they call it, so you could see the actual throw. It's a judo throw. It's a great throw. And the way she went into her arm bar, I thought she was going to go into a juji katami, which most people call a cross arm breaker. And if she put on a juji, then she'd show you how to do it right. We've seen juji katamis, cross arm breakers, done in pro wrestling for years, and they're usually done wrong. When you see someone who's well versed in judo or jiu-jitsu, they know the proper way to do a juji. And she went into it that way, where if you look at her knee, where she places it, but she clamped the arm. So she did a little bit different. She didn't extend the arm. I guess because then Asuka, who uses that arm bar? Juji. I think Asuka does. Somebody else uses it. A lot of people. It's been used a lot. That's not about the arm bar. What it's about is you have, what I'm trying to get at, what you have is Ronda Rousey, when she does what's in her wheelhouse, and it's any sort of a judo throw you could imagine. And there's so many great judo throws. I used so many judo throws in my arsenal back in my day, and I was nowhere near the level of a judoka that Ronda is. I mean, she's was amazing. So I think stick to that as opposed to any pro wrestling stuff, because that segment last night looked very choreographed. And that was the problem with it. It looked like they walked through it 100 times. I think having her talk in too long of sentences is not good. Ronda Rousey, she's still learning in her defense. She's still learning. And then when you see Paige come out and cut her promo, it's like, you're seeing someone who's a polished pro talk. You can see the difference. So it's unfair to Ronda when you put her in that position. You don't have to have her talk much. I mean, they're doing some stuff that's cool. Like when Kurt's got to calm her down, like Ronda's facial expressions when she snaps, she's very good at it. She's very good at it. She goes from being a nice, pretty girl with a really pretty smile, and she's nice, and she's a nice person. And then when she snaps, that's where they're going with her. She's uncontrollable almost. And then she listens to Kurt. Hey, I buy it. No problem. She's credible. But you're not getting the live audience behind her because you're letting her be too normal, too long, too early. You got to let her be all impact initially. Set the tone. And I think they started off bad with her from the first time we saw her on TV. I went crazy that one time in the studio about the whole thing with Stephanie and stuff and how they cut her legs off, Ronda. So that now they're playing catch up, in my opinion. So you might be better off doing post-produced stuff like you did with Stephanie and Hunter in a gym where you could work with her on her promo ability and have Kurt Angle work with her and Kurt be there to, do the right thing and help her. And, I don't know. I saw a clip from, I guess it was from the WWE Performance Center during the week of Ronda Rousey. What did she do? She did a full body slam. She did something else. It was a quick little high spot WWE posted. I don't, and I like Ronda Rousey, and I think she's going to make a lot of money for the company, and I think she's going to make a lot of money for herself. But I'm sure they'll make it work somehow because you got definitely two established pros in this match coming up at Mania with Triple H and Kurt. But otherwise, this young lady's not ready for this. And I'm not knocking her ability as a fighter, her ability as an athlete. It has nothing to do with fighting. It has nothing to do with athletes. I'm talking about her ability as an entertainer and a performer, because that's the toughest part of this business. There's been a plethora of great athletes that attempted to get into pro wrestling, but they couldn't handle the entertainment end of it. And when I say entertainment, I'm not saying everybody's got to get on the mic and act like The Rock and be as talented as Steve Austin, or be as riveting on the mic as whatever, Triple H. I'm not saying you got to be that good of a talker, or Shawn Michaels. I'm not. No, those are some of the best guys in the history of the game. I'm not saying that, but you gotta. You only get good at this by doing a lot of reps, and doing a lot of reps in front of people. Well, you said, well, Tazz, she did it in front of people. Yeah, she did it in front of people. She did it in front of about 15,000 people live on Raw on worldwide TV. That's the type of people I'm talking about. She should do it on house shows, in small venues, and NXT house shows, not WWE house shows. Less is more. That's how she needs to learn. I know she's a big-time worldwide star. I get it. I know that. But they got to really watch, because fans are smarter than sometimes WWE might think that the fans are smart, not just the hardcore fans. Fans can tell if someone's ready or not. They can tell. So people know.
One other thing too. What was with that eye makeup she had on?
Well,
they looked like the Undertaker's sister or something. It looked terrible.
I think that
trying to make it look tough or something. She doesn't need it.
I think that it's a thing where it gives. They want her to do that to give her more of when she puts that serious face on. That red eye makeup helps from a distance. But early in the segments, when she's nice and she's talking nice, and she's got this pretty smile. She's a pretty girl. And then you see the stuff on her eyes, it's weird looking. But when she gets angry, it does look cool. So it does. When she's mad, it does. It does look good, in my opinion.
The thing we always hear, the fans like me who dig in deep and everything, is that when you listen to wrestlers talk like you and other guys, you have to put yourself into this, and then you have to magnify your personality, right? You have to be a bit larger than life when you're in the ring. And she's like, hi, how are you? Pass the sugar. She's still like being.
Pass the sugar.
She's like, oh, yeah, no thanks. I don't want to be an absolution. No, thank you.
Pass the sugar. Well, I think that's part of the. I think the idea that WWE has is actually good, because I think what they're trying to do with her is that she is almost like a split personality. So once it gets physical, she snaps. But before that, she's just a nice girl. Like, no, thank you. No, thank you. Like, but I think she doesn't know how to do the performance end of it. That's what I'm saying.
It seems a little too complex for someone who has no experience.
She's green. I mean, she's just very green. And you're expecting her to do a lot. When you let her go in there and do an Ogosh, do a Nippon Sayanagi, do what she knows how to do. Go in there and do a nice Kataka Roma. She could go in there, which is like a fireman's carry, to translate, okay? It's like a beautiful judo throw. It's a version of a fireman's carry, but like when you see a person who knows what they're doing do it, it's very fast and very impressive. She could let her go into her realm. A Nippon Sayanagi is a throw I used to use all the time. It's a shoulder throw. It's almost like an arm drag, but instead of the guy's arm being here when you throw him, his arm's higher. His arm goes across your shoulder, and you throw the person over. Ass end over tea kettle, as we call it, right? Just straight over, dude. Like, just boom. It's a beautiful throw. And I guarantee you that this girl here, Ronda, can do a Nippon Sayanagi that is amazing. So she ain't going to do that to Stephanie. Stephanie's not going to take that bump. That's a dangerous bump. Now, Mandy Rose can take that bump. Sonya Deville can take that bump. But Stephanie can't take that bump. And I know she's in great shape, but she's a mom. She's got, several kids, and she's not a
business to run.
Yeah, she's not going to take a throw like that. And I don't blame Stephanie. I wouldn't either if I was her.
Her brother would.
Well, I hope her brother's doing okay.
Yeah,
he's in the hospital.
Banged up.
Yeah, but
diverticulitis is no joke, man.
I know it's no joke. I could have sworn, didn't Brock have that?
Yeah, that's what happened. He had to get some of his colon removed.
Yeah,
that's why he failed. Didn't fail.
With seeds, if seeds they can't digest or something like that. My wife.
To really change your diet, you got to be really careful.
I think he was in not Tahiti, like Antigua. He was in the Caribbean somewhere, and he must have, it was family, and he ate something. Man, I just hope Shane's gonna be okay. But yeah, Stephanie's not going to take that kind of a throw, and I don't blame her. She shouldn't. But so a lot of those judo throws that this girl here, Ronda's an expert at. You got Stephanie in there. Yeah, Hunter could take them. Triple H could definitely take the throws.
He will too.
Oh no, I know he will. Yeah. He definitely will. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And he'll take him like a champ. I mean, he's great. I've worked with him. I know. I
almost feel like Ronda's going to end up pinning Triple H in the match.
That could be. Yeah. I didn't delve into the match. I got to put the match in the laboratory still. Okay. So yeah, but anyway,